have a childless cat ladies for Kamala shirt. Can you tell me a little bit more about the meme and significance of it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to a woman than being able to reproduce, whether you choose not to or you can't. There's more to us than just that. So I'm proud to support and just be a good cat mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know this kind of comes on the heel of Vice Presidential pick J.D. Vance sort of making these comments. Can I ask what you thought of those comments and what you think about Trump's VP picking him?
In ways, I'm glad he picked him because I don't think it was a good choice. I think he is really riling up the left, which is making me excited. So not only talking about childless cat ladies, but then looking at postmenopausal women and saying basically what they're good for is to help raise grandchildren at a certain age. So whatever we can do to come out and support and have our voices be heard.
If elected, she'd be the first female person of color elected to president. As a woman, can you tell me a little bit more about the significance behind that, if any?
Yeah, I think really what is great is I grew up with my parents saying you can do anything you wanted to do, but also in the back of your mind knowing that it's a stretch. And now to see it and to be here and to be on the cusp of it, I think it's wonderful. And I'm just so excited. I have 5 nieces, and I'm just so excited for them in their lifetime to see the first female president and know that's the first, it's not the last.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One last topic I wanted to hit on. The Democrats often talk about how big of a threat to democracy Trump would be if reelected. What would your biggest fear in a second Trump presidency be?
There's a lot. I mean, there really is a lot, and I think first and foremost, it's about women's reproductive rights, their autonomy with their body, being able to do what they want to do, and just looking between the difference between the two sides right now. You have a vice president who put feminine hygiene products in bathrooms, and then you have the other side that wants to have those same girls have a baby when they're not ready.
If elected, she would be the first female black president. Yes. You're obviously a black female. Can you speak to the significance of that, if at all?
It's great. I mean, there's been a lot of, black women all over the world, whether they're single or married, always been the backbone and the strong foundation. We always had to make the most sacrifices for our family. So this is a phenomenal moment. I just can't wait to see her in office and everybody that the naysayers are the ones that thinks that she's not going to make it. It's just going to be called by what's coming. So,
absolutely. Black women are the backbone of the Democrat Party. What political issues concern you the most as a black woman?
Well, they may not take us serious enough. We may be ridiculed a lot. So that's a major concern. Just being a woman, period, and in such a very strong and dominant position is a major concern. I just hope that they take her serious and, just continue to just keep fighting for Kamala because she's number one.
Do you think Donald Trump is taking her seriously?
Not at all. Donald Trump don't take any woman, whether you're black, white, or whatever. He don't take any woman serious. So, no.
And this last question I had for you, this is all obviously with the goal of keeping Trump out of a second presidency. What do you fear most, if anything, about a second Trump presidency?
Oh, goodness. I fear that, our rights there's no democracy. We'll have no rights, no say in what happens, and it's just a tragedy. It'll be just a tragedy.
What kind of rights are you fearful of Trump taking away from you?
Well, for one, our rights to make choices to be a woman, our reproductive choices, our choices to be married or divorced or anything like that, just a lot of comments that he's made on having women stay in domestic abuse, violence, home, situations because he thinks that's just the American way. That's the way it's supposed to be, and it's not. So we want to keep our freedom and our right to make our own choices.
Ladies, thank you so much for your time. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
Let's go, Kamala. Let's go, Kamala. We win. When we fight, we win, and we're not going back.
What brings you guys out?
We're both very big Democrats. We want to advocate for the future of our nation, and we thought there'd be no better way than to come here and show our support for the future President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Absolutely. Democrats work hard on reaching out to Gen Z. What issues worry you guys the most? What are you most concerned about?
Abortions, the economy, the middle class being able to get tax breaks rather than the upper class and billionaires. Those are all really big issues for me.
One of the first things you said was reproductive rights. You're obviously a man. Can you tell me the significance of having that be one of your top issues?
I believe that the world should be an equal place for everyone, regardless of what you look like or where you come from. It's really important for women to have these rights so they aren't treated as less than equal to us men as we have, as the power dynamic has been in the past.
Absolutely. It was a quick recent swap where they swapped Joe Biden for Kamala Harris. Are you happy to have seen the Democrats make that change?
Yeah, I am. I was scared at first. I do love Joe Biden, but I do think he is getting up there in age, and it was a great choice to make a shift towards the future of our nation rather than him preserving his personal pride.
Absolutely. You are a white male. That is Trump's core voting base. What would you say? Do you have any message to white males who support Trump? What would you say to flip them over?
I would say just try to be a loving person, try to understand where all these people are coming from and what they are truly working towards, and try to view the world as a place where everyone should be able to succeed, and then reform your views from that standpoint.
Absolutely. Sir, thank you for your time. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
That would be it. Thank you.
I am a lifelong Democrat. I support democratic policies to make a better society for my neighbors and for my family. And I live in Chicago, and a friend of mine and I, when we heard that there was going to be a rally up here, we wanted to come and support and to keep the electorate excited.
Absolutely. Can I ask you what excites you most about Kamala Harris?
I think what excites me the most is that she's a continuation of what I think is the success of the Biden administration in terms of improving the economy, in terms of lessening the stridency between our communities.
Obviously, there's been a little bit of political turmoil the past month. I see you still have a Biden shirt on. Are you happy to see him step down and give Kamala Harris the chance to run for president?
I wouldn't say that I'm happy. I think that I was realistic about the chances that he had, because I think a lot of the public doesn't really look too deeply into policy issues, and something superficial as age may be important to a lot of people, but not to me. So no, I wouldn't say I was happy, but again, I have a Biden shirt on because that's the only shirt that I had that I could grab really quickly. As soon as I can get a Harris shirt, I'll get one.
On this point, Democrats talk a lot about democracy and the importance of voting. We had a long primary process go out where Joe Biden received all the votes. Kamala Harris didn't receive any. How would you respond to somebody who says we had this play out in the ballot box, but at the end of the day, the bigwigs in the Democrat Party decided to change it at the last moment?
I would say that Kamala Harris did get lots of votes because she was on the primary ballot with Joe Biden.
But as VP, not for president.
That's my response.
Absolutely. This one last topic I wanted to hit on. While there does seem to be a lot of consensus in the Democrat Party about Kamala Harris, there's a small group of people frustrated with her handling of the Israel-Gaza war that's breaking out. What's your thoughts on people who say, I'm going to withhold my vote because of her response to the war in Israel and Gaza?
As much as I am a believer in everybody's individual liberty to cast their vote the way they want to, I think they have the liberty to not vote as well. That's unfortunate, but I certainly respect their belief and their stridency. The Gaza situation is very unfortunate. It is very hurtful and challenging, and it's very complicated. Oftentimes, we as Americans, we get sort of sucked into these issues that have been going on for thousands of years, and we have to try to make the best of it. We have to make our voice heard so that we're on the side of humanity, and that's the humanity of both the Palestinians and both the Jews. So
many of these protesters accuse her of being complicit in genocide. Have you heard this stuff from protesters? What's your reaction to that?
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yesterday in Chicago, we went to the Gaza pro-Palestinian protest at Union Park near the United Center. And again, I respect people's belief. I think that we do need to stand strong in favor of human rights in terms of human dignity. So it's complicated, and I respect them in their stridency. And I have a feeling in that regard as well. In terms of whether or not complicit, foreign policy is really freaking complicated.
Gen Z is a group that Democrats work hard to reach out to. What issues are important to you as somebody who's from Gen Z?
I think climate change, where we're going with our culture, the culture war, stuff like that, where we're going with America, what America wants to be in the future and on the global stage, because obviously we still need a lot of deciding to do, I think.
Absolutely. White men are one of Donald Trump's core voting blocs. You're obviously a white man.
Yeah.
What message would you have for a Donald Trump supporter to try to convert him over to becoming a Democrat?
I think Donald Trump is too old for you. When he's gone, you're still going to be here, and I think you need to realize that his policies aren't with your future in mind, I think.
Absolutely. Are you fearful of another Donald Trump presidency?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think he represents a kind of this underlying movement in America, and bringing that back to the surface again is really dangerous, and especially what he's promising in the second term.
What do you fear he will get accomplished if elected for a second term?
He's laid that out on Project 2025. I think he's kind of used a lot of that animosity towards him, like the assassination attempt and stuff like that. It's kind of a casus belli to kind of go after his enemies and stuff like that. And I think it's really kind of scary.
It's interesting because you're the first person who I talked to even mention the assassination attempt. My final question will be, what do you think of that whole ordeal with him getting shot through the ear?
I think he makes it a far bigger deal than it should be, and that's scary because it's that kind of stuff, that kind of symbolism that I think can really be used in a very potent way. It's kind of like take it back to Hitler and the fire in the Reichstag. So I think it's that kind of stuff that really can be used in not very good ways.
You said he makes it a bigger deal than it really is. Do you not think it was a big deal that they came centimeters away from killing him?
I think it was a tragic event, to be sure. Nothing like this should happen in America. But the way he's making it out to be and the way he could make it out to be is really, it's an unknown that I don't want to have happen.
Sir, thank you so much for your time. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, thank you.
Out here today in Milwaukee, after this Kamala Harris rally, I see you guys have some of her signs. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you guys decided to come out?
Just because the momentum is there and we just really wanted to show our support. Kamala has done a great job in making sure that the people that need to feel included are, which is most of America, those of us that want change in the right direction. So we just wanted to show our support to show that we're a part of that.
Absolutely. Can I ask, what excites you guys most about Kamala Harris?
Oh, for me? Somebody else want to answer that? Or?
Because she has common fucking sense.
Absolutely. Do you think former President Trump or maybe Joe Biden, who she's replacing, was lacking some of that common sense?
I don't want to comment on that one, but
I will say
she has a lot.
I don't think that Joe Biden lacked common sense. He may not have had the steam that she has. As it pertains to Donald Trump, I do think that common sense is lacking. I do think that he doesn't do a good job of effectively getting his point across in ways that relate to people who have common sense. So I do think he lacks in that area.
Democrats are constantly saying Trump will take democracy away, Trump will take your rights away. Are you guys fearful of a second Trump presidency? And what would be your biggest fear if he were reelected?
Oh my God! Probably Project 2025.
That's me too.
LGBTQ rights, women rights, shit, everything.
Did you have something in mind?
I just want to say that I think with Trump becoming president, it would just fuel the extra. It's that push to really get what they want across. That is the Christian conservatorship. So yeah.
Last question I had for you: if elected, she would be the first black female president. As people of color, is that significant to you guys? What do you think about that?
Definitely. I think it really just shows that we are evolving and that anything can happen.
I do want to add on to that it is significant, but it is not the only reason why she has my vote. And so while that is something that I do feel like is showing how far America has come if she is to be elected, it's not the only reason why.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
We stand with the people. We stand with Kamala Harris.
Tell me why you decided to come out.
I wanted to come out because this is the first time I felt like a new kind of energetic excitement about a presidential nominee. I just feel like she represents a lot of values that I'm leaning towards this time as compared to the other candidate.
Can I ask, what excites you most about Kamala?
I think that we're moving forward and not moving backwards. We're trying to move away from all the things that we feel like are holding us back. And we're trying to bring people together from both sides, conservatives and people who are considered liberal.
It's been about a month since Joe Biden stepped down, allowing Kamala Harris to step up. Are you happy to see Joe Biden step down for that opportunity for her?
Originally, I was not. It was a little scary thinking that we would change nominees this late. I'm very excited to see that the Democratic Party has been able to kind of bring everyone together and on the same page. Everyone seems very energetic and very positive about Kamala Harris, and even the Democrats on the Hill have kind of garnered behind her. So I'm in a very better place than I was the day it was announced. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. She picked Tim Walz from Minnesota as the VP. Is that significant to you? What do you think about the pick?
It wasn't at first. The more I get to know about him, the more I like him. He seems like a regular guy. He's been a coach of a football team. He has a lot of values I know voters specifically appeal to. And he seems like a nice guy. So, yeah.
One topic I wanted to hit on, Kamala Harris has been getting some flack from the left because of her past as a DA. And now we're in a time where criminal justice reform is a big deal. What do you think about her past as a DA? Does it bother you at all?
It does not bother me. Actually, that's something in my community. It's been discussed quite a bit in the African American community, not just now this season, but I've heard this kind of over the years. It doesn't bother me. The people she's put away are mostly people who are pedophiles, people who abuse children, people who abuse drugs, people who had a drug conviction with another conviction, domestic violence or something of the sort. You will be hard tasked to find anything where she just puts someone away specifically for a small drug offense. Very hard task.
If elected, she'd be the first black female president. You're obviously a person of color. Is it significant to you? What do you think of that stuff?
It is significant, but it's not the main focus or goal. Her policies and how she will be as a president are the main focus and goal. I'm not voting for her because she's black, and I'm not voting for her because she's a woman. That just happens to be one of the things we also get when she's successful. If I didn't like her policies, I wouldn't vote for her. If I didn't like her, I wouldn't vote for her. I'm voting for her because she's the best candidate. But it's also amazing that we'll be alive during a time where history can be made and we'll see a woman president who also happens to be black and Indian.
Absolutely. Last thing I wanted to hit on, do you fear a second Trump presidency?
Yes.
What do you think Republicans would do if he were to get reelected?
I think if you put a villain on their final board of a video game and you tell them it's now or never, they are going to burn it all down before they let the heroes win. It's just that simple.
Is there something in particular? Because I know Democrats say he'll destroy democracy.
I think he will try his absolute best to take voting rights away somehow. And if not him, because he's not smart enough, he has Supreme Court justices who could do it. So he has a team of people in place who can harm us. Not just himself. It's not Donald Trump who's the issue mainly. It's the people he's put in place to take away our rights.
Absolutely. Sir, thank you so much for your time. Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
Nope.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your patience. Thanks for waiting too.
No worries,
Thank
man.
you guys. Have a good night.